What?
Ah, yes. St. Patty's Day. I think we'll start our journey here in Ireland, where St. Patrick's Day originally started. You can hear the bagpipes playing in the wind for miles, through the rolling hills of,
There's graves, guys. Why are we showing graves?
through the storied rolling hills, and down into the valleys. You can find the farmers up tending their land, herding their sheep. Look at those
Okay,
cute
where
little
are the
buggers,
farmers?
their fluffy butts. Where are the farmers? And after a long, hard day's work, the town folk meet at the corner of Irecourt, Burr, and Clogham, apparently,
I feel drunk just looking at that thing.
as they wear the olden cloth and dance the ways of the old. Can somebody
And,
give me a
you know how the
background of
rest
some
of the night
farmers,
goes, don't
please?
you?
Back here in the States, you know, I hear of a traditional St. Patrick's Day. You know, folks get dressed up, real formal like, go out to mass. Cities throw on festivities, turn the rivers green, throw big parades, everyone dressed in intricate costume. Oh my God, what was that? But if you ask,
I can't do it.
yeah, I didn't know what St. Patrick's Day was. Now, here's how I remember all of my St. Patrick's Day. It usually starts off with a well wish and a nice toast. And as our bellies warm, the rhythm runs through your body.
Kira was always the first to start. Jeff liked this portion of the evening. Jeff.
Then it was chatty Cathy time as we worked the room. And then it was time to set it off.
Be cool. Kira's back. Be cool.
Oh, Dustin was never scared.
At this point, Barkeep was really annoyed.
You know, a little sport on the pitch as we let our food soak up the sun. Of course, this was after our break in the alley, where we got ready for our selfies with our besties, you know what I'm saying. And then it came to a point where the barkeep was ready to kick. As the decades have gone by, and each day brings forth the proverbial sunset of my life, I find myself constantly searching for the meaning. I find this is best accomplished when I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and just take it all in. The sounds, the smells. I find that when I close my mind and I lead with my heart, I find myself marveling a lot. I see things that I never knew were there. Now, my journey has taken me on some of the most amazing highs. And some of the most devastating lows. But in the end, no matter where I go, no matter the circumstance,
There were always three things present.
family, humans, animals, whatever the species, we all have our loved ones, our family, our tribe. Navigating this planet together. We come in all shapes and sizes, colors. And friendship. No matter what you're doing, you can always count on your friends to help you through this thing called life, the good times and the bad. And then there's love. It is the stuff that binds us all. You'll find that love really runs everything, doesn't it? From what I know, it's the stuff that makes everything worth it. So this St. Patrick's Day, no matter what came to pass, I'd stay out of my head and lead with my heart.
One day, I was in the main office of my Fortune 500 company with my fine Asian self, having an important meeting.
What? As you can see by this awesome rendition, I was working diligently one day, so focused that the hours... What? Seriously? Fine! I was delivering groceries one day, having critical thought. Okay, anyways, I pulled up to my last stop, gathered myself, and when I grabbed the customer's order, I heard this emergency notification alert. I gently put the package back and proceeded to check my message. It was Eric, and he needed somebody to record a video. He was minting a coin, and apparently his son chases leprechauns. I was on the situation. I quickly pulled up to the residence. Took in some of my surroundings. And immediately got to work.
That is a awesome looking desk.
Yeah. Probably looks good on film because it's old and beat up.
Where did it come from?
Oh, there's quite a story about this desk.
Yeah?
My great-grandfather, Louis, built it for my grandpa, Herman. My grandfather was a master watchmaker and jeweler for years. He had his own business in New York.
Now, up until this point, I had only met Eric a couple of times in passing at family events. For whatever reason, I never had any in-depth conversation with him. My first impression of Eric when I first laid eyes on him was, in a superficial sense, he met every definition of a good old boy, as I see it in my perspective from my eye. That is, until he spoke. He was thoughtful, articulate, soft-spoken. I saw it in his body language. I sensed an immense amount of genuineness from this man.
Yeah, it's just basically, man, it's just having it. Here's his old hammer. This is the only tool he would let me play with when I was a kid.
As the rain fell hard on Eric's man cave, I asked a couple more leading questions, and he was happy to oblige. We looked at fascinating family tools, rich pieces with fond memory. He even had an old vintage Soda's cream cheese box from the old Soda's Creamery Corporation, based out of, well, you guessed it, New York, of course.
A couple years ago, when Max was in preschool, all of the counselors would, play pranks on the little kids. They put the green food coloring in the toilet bowl, kind of get them all excited, make them think the leprechaun was there, So, I don't know, a couple years ago, I started in the bathroom. I took toilet paper and I ran down the hallway with it and, put the food coloring in the toilet. And then I called Max over and started yelling at him. Not too bad, but just, making it seem like he was in trouble for running down the hallway with the toilet paper. And made him start cleaning it up. And then when he went to clean it up, he saw the toilet filled with leprechaun pee, and he was like, "Dad, it wasn't me, it was a leprechaun." And ever since then, he's been completely convinced that leprechauns are up to no good. They're mischievous, they cause trouble, and if he could catch one, he can get the pot of gold, which I think every little kid wants to get the pot of gold. Right. Catch a leprechaun, get a pot of gold. So fast forward to last year, Max is getting a little bit bigger, a little more clever. He kind of came up with a trap for a leprechaun. A little drop trap, a box with a trigger, and the leprechaun was going to pull the change and the trap would fall on him. And the next morning when Max came out, there was a pair of scissors with a note that said, like, "I know your plan." And the trap was tripped. Leprechaun got away. So he really got, he's really dead set. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to get this leprechaun." So, was that last year or the year before? I don't remember. So then the last St. Patrick's Day, Max went to bed, and I ran to the store and I knitted these little leprechaun pants out of a dish towel. I got a little drawstring shoelace thing. And so I left them in the bathroom when I pulled my usual bathroom trick on them. And I told Max, what's going on in the bathroom? And he came running downstairs and burst the door open, and he found toilet paper, green pea, and these little babies. And he was like, "Ooh, I just missed him." So we had a really good laugh at this little leprechaun running all around the forest with no pants, his little cheeks hanging out. And this year I just kind of had the idea where the leprechaun is going to get his pants back. And in return, I got a fake coin here. In return, I'm going to make a gold coin. And the leprechaun is going to leave, gold coin in exchange for the pants. Thanks, Sonny, for giving me my pants back. Something like that. And Max will have a lucky gold coin from a leprechaun.
As Eric sets up for his first mint, I just want you to take a mental note. When he whipped those leprechaun pants out, that's when the weight of this all came crashing down on me. I'll circle back to that.
Here we go, my first time doing this with the most expensive material I can find. Oh, there it is. Let's do this. Now just wait a few minutes. Should melt pretty quick, it's pretty hot. Shit. I guess we're doing that over again.
Now, initially, when I watched this in real time, I thought that he was doing these things you see here just because he was trying to work things out in his mind about how he could land this cast, when actually he was just being logical. It was cooling too quickly, so he needed to heat everything up. Boy, if this was his first time, call me impressed. I guess my mind just doesn't work this quickly, especially in front of a camera.
Alright. Almost. Almost.
I watched him reset. And after the third try, I had a brilliant idea. Eric went and found some makeshift pieces to construct the stopper. We were both determined to conquer this molten monster now. We exchanged a couple more thoughts, should this not work. He popped the lid, pulled the basket. Success.
Did it. That was it.
He trumpeted his conquest, and while I was sure this was just a flip out of the mold away from completion,
I think that was it, man.
Eric knew that he had only completed the first step in his mission. I marveled at what he just made. It was money. A gold coin. What looked like something you see at the bottom of the sea on the National Geographic Channel. Eric's triumph was short-lived as he hurried to the next step. He told me it was time for the real work. I watched him set up and I was amazed at what I was watching. Was he setting up to file metal with his hands? Isn't there some sort of machine for this, I thought? You can tell I am what they call a city slicker. What I watched unfold was nothing short of impressive to this city boy. Eric worked non-stop filing away metal. Shavings were flying in the air. I circled back to the mental note we took at the point he whipped out those leprechaun pants. You see, I realized then that the meaning behind the task of recording a video of minting the coin had suddenly revealed itself. I guess the simplest way I know how to put it is, you know when you come across an old picture and the memories hit you so deeply that emotion overcomes you because you know there's so much more to that memory than what's captured in that photo? I had never done this before, and I knew that I really wanted him to have a correct and true accounting of his precious memory. It was time to pound his signature in his newly made golden coin. We set out to ride the journey to Middle-earth. Well, to the boundaries of the settlement anyway. I followed what looked like one proud papa, basking in the goodness of his creation. While Eric set up, I saw the toll that the hard work had taken on his body, and I watched with amazement. Not one complaint or frustration along the way. In fact, it was completely the opposite the whole way through. The giant Papa Bear stretched as he got ready to plant his domination in the kingdom. I was trying to sound like Dave off the National Geographic. Okay, I'll stop. And just like that, the earth shook with newly minted meaning. So I just showed up to the residence and had to use the restroom, and immediately I hear a little bit of laughing, and Eric has done the most amazing thing because I'm here to record Max finding the coin. Obviously I can't use the big rig because it's got to be hidden and genuine. So I showed up here early before he gets home from school on St. Patrick's Day, and we're gonna see what Eric has devised. Okay, so tell us what you did.
Last night before Max went to bed, he left out some yogurt and a spoon and a couple of coins, quarters, for the leprechaun, and he left him a little note that said, "Happy St. Patrick's Day." So I scribbled on the other side of the note, you know, shiny coins and yummy porridge. I'm gonna go eat it somewhere safe. Hopefully he knows safe is his safe. I'll figure it out. But I scribbled it in Gaelic, so he's got to translate it. I use Google Translate to write this stuff. And so I scribbled the rest of it on here. I'm gonna leave this in the safe with the half-eaten yogurt and the gold coin. And hopefully he finds it and comes running and asks me to translate it. I even made little pictures on here. And the leprechaun's name is Luck, translated ADH, means luck. Broke the pencil and stuck it in here so it would look like a tiny little guy was writing it. And the very last page says, you can keep the pants, my new ones have pockets.
There it is again. He was always smiling. He planned everything to the last detail. The pants he knitted, the porridge, the note. Oh, and let's put the pages in order. Place the coin on top. One last look for safety. And oh yeah, a mischievous leprechaun was going to be here performing a heist. Better stage the crime scene.
We might have caught the leprechaun on camera. He might be in that room. Be very quiet.
Did you get him?
No. He might be behind that.
Think? Did you make this?
No.
There's nothing there. Think you went in this? What? Is that what you said?
He might have.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Think it's
Oh, there's a notepad. Yes, and a golden coin. What? A broken pencil? We found evidence that the leprechaun is real.
Eric and Max continued the hunt and followed the evidence. I watched from my GoPro app in real time, breathtaken by what had just happened. You know, in this very fast-paced world we live in today, getting the whole family together for a meal is, well, something you see on TV. When I received the text that day, I had no idea just what I was going to have the honor of being a part of. This man knitted leprechaun pants, melted metal, gold for that matter, and he had never done it before. We watched him fail and fail over again. until he got it right and literally worked the skin off his thumbs and sucked up the obvious pain through his body from this very long, hard process. And the whole way through, he smiled. He was joyful. I have to admit, I didn't get it at the time. And for what? Not for a medal or for recognition, but for the love he has for his boy. This man's heart is full. And his name is Max. This is one of the most sweetest, innocent little boys I have ever met. Yes, this man, so rich in family, friendship, and love, has me believing that there is no doubt that he is raising a boy that will one day be working over this desk. With a minted coin in his heart, calling on his old leprechaun friend once more.
Wow, that's amazing. You better not lose that.
The notepad that he wrote on was the notepad from on the kitchen counter. And he took it and wrote on it, and Mom didn't even notice.
Wow.
How
Wow.
is this possible?
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing story. I've never heard of that.
Dad said that every St. Patrick's Day there was a person who left out some food for the leprechaun, and it brought her very good luck. Leprechaun.
And the little plate was gone,
Yeah.
huh?